Right now, it's looking like Disney's in a bit of a winning streak, or at least as far as the box office is concerned. They have Inside Out 2, which after this last weekend, it hit $1.3 billion. And then Deadpool and Wolverine is set to come out pretty soon, and that's anticipated to do really well for the company. But not all things are good for Disney, because apparently there's been a security breach at the company. A hacker group allegedly stole over 1 terabyte worth of data from the company and are threatening to release it if Disney doesn't pay them some type of a ransom. Hacking group claims to have stolen over 1 terabyte of data from Disney, and this article is coming from Rant. Reports state that a hacker group known as Nullbulge has stolen over 1 terabyte of data from Disney. It is unknown for certain what the data may contain, and there is little information presently available that verifies the veracity of these claims. Claims state that Nullbulge accessed Disney's Slack server and collected information about the company's upcoming projects, including concepts art for Disney games. These reports also suggest that login details and personal data of workers were gathered. And this type of method for outside groups to try to infiltrate big companies like Disney isn't necessarily unusual. It even points that out in this article here. Disney hack echoes Insomniac and Rockstar. Currently, Disney itself has not responded to outlets about the matter, which calls the truth of the situation into question. In the event hackers did actually breach Disney's private information, there could be a statement similar to the one that was made when Rockstar Games was hacked. And this is what it has to say about the whole Rockstar hack. Breaching company Slack channels appears to be a common thread between recent hacks of large companies like this. In the case of Rockstar, proof eventually surfaced that the leak did take place. The estimated cost of Rockstar's leak were approximately $5 million, and the leak contained over 90 videos of the highly anticipated Grand Theft Auto 6, amounting to an hour of content. If Nullbulge did pull off a leak that collected a terabyte of data, the scope of the breach could be colossal in comparison. And that's something that I can't stress enough when it comes to this, because let's say they stole a terabyte worth of data, but it was some video files. Well, okay, those are obviously a lot more bigger, so it would damage Disney if someone got a hold of like one of their future movies and released it early or something like that, because they have been threatened with that in the past. And I can get more on that in a moment. But if you think about it, if they got over a terabyte worth of data, especially if it was internal communications and kind of like those rumors and gossip going on behind the scenes, or even future plans for what they want to do with Disney Animation, Pixar, Marvel, Lucasfilm, that could be really damaging to them if you get kind of this behind the scene look for them. Because a lot of other companies, when they have so much of their own personal data leaked, it usually takes a hit on the stock value. And that's kind of where this whole $5 million loss comes from when it comes to that Rockstar leak, because it's not like they paid $5 million to get those videos back, because that didn't happen. Basically, some cost of all the damage that they estimate from the hack for them cost them around $5 million, but a terabyte worth of documents being leaked from Disney could be potentially more damaging to the company as far as their stock value is concerned. Disney, similar to Take-Two Interactive, is known to be very litigious, which would likely be a deterrent to most when it comes to hacking the company. If the leak is true and the hackers are caught, the company will likely make an example of those responsible. And that kind of reminds me of this article that came out back in 2017 talking about a previous Disney hack where some security experts say don't actually pay any ransom to hackers like this, because, you know, naturally, if you're going to pay out and just give them whatever they want to get your information back, well, you're also trusting that they do in fact give you all the information back and they didn't make copies in the digital space. I don't know how you can trust that, but also it just kind of incentivizes them to just come back and do it again, because like, hey, Disney will pay out, so we might as well just keep hacking them. So by doing that, it makes them a threat. But with Disney, they take the approach like, well, we're going to try to come after you legally if you do this sort of thing. So that kind of dissuades hacker groups from doing this sort of thing. But still, that doesn't mean it hasn't happened to Disney in the past, and that doesn't mean it won't continue to happen. Large companies are always a target for hackers, so that's just par for the course, and they just have to continue to be on their ball when it comes to litigating such matters. But this article that's talking about it is addressing a particular hack back then, where it says here, last week, Walt Disney CEO Bob Iger reportedly informed employees that hackers had infiltrated the company and stole a copy of the latest installment of Pirates of the Caribbean franchise, due out on May 26. According to Hollywood Reporter, the suspected perpetrators demanded a ransom or they would release the movie in 20-minute increments if Disney failed to pay. I tried looking into this to see if Disney did in fact pay out in this situation, but it looks like they didn't pay out, or at least there was no word about them paying out. What really happened with this, or at least the way this situation was resolved, is Disney was reportedly in negotiations with the group that supposedly stole Pirates of the Caribbean. And then afterwards, Disney said that no, they didn't actually have the movie and they did nothing as a result of that. So maybe that is the case. Maybe the people didn't actually have the movie and they were just kind of bluffing, or maybe Disney was trying to keep it on the hush hush because they wanted to get it back, but they didn't want to make it known publicly that they paid out the hackers. I don't know how this transpired. This is all just pure speculation, but what I do know is this happened. Disney says they didn't pay out after negotiating with the hackers, and now they're hacked again and their information is being held for ransom. So make with it what you will, because unless we actually have some internal information that say what was going on here, then we just have to speculate. But either way, this isn't necessarily good news for them, but it's also not the worst news in the world, because could some of their stuff get leaked early before they plan on announcing it? Yes, Comic-Con's coming up, and they're saying in this article from Comic Book Movie that's also talking about these hacks that are going on that they were probably going to use this as an opportunity to, in a way, distract from what was going on with this whole hack. Disney may be looking to distract from this news by confirming today that Marvel Studios will host a 1-hour Hall H panel at San Diego Comic-Con on Saturday, July 27th from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. That's a shorter than usual panel, but enough to give us an updated slate and the odd trailer or two. So I don't know. I mean, we'll have to see, because maybe the hackers are going to release the information they're going to have before that, or a shorter period of time than their usual one. Maybe they don't have a whole lot to announce, because I'm pretty sure we know what they're going to be doing for the next several years. So this could just be completely unrelated to this, but still, it's not good news for Disney to have this kind of information. So I'm kind of curious how the stock market will behave as a result of all this, or maybe it'll kind of take a wait and see approach, whether this information starts getting leaked or whether Disney pays out, or I don't know. Let me know in the comments what you think this is going to mean for Disney to have this kind of security breach for the company. And also, I'm kind of curious what this is going to do for Slack, because this is the first, like I already pointed out, Slack got infiltrated for Rockstar and Take-Two Interactive, and that had a security breach. It had this big security breach for Disney. So I'm wondering if it's going to hurt that company too, because apparently this seems to be a weakness for this, or maybe that's just the way things go sometimes, where people, if they're dedicated enough, they can infiltrate these companies through their messaging services or whatever messaging services. So it's just kind of to be expected. But let me know what you think about all this in the comment section below. And if you haven't already, make sure you click that subscribe button if you want to stay up to date with the latest entertainment news. And don't forget to click that like button and share the video, because it helps out with the channel. Thank you.